Hey guys, I'm back. I know it's been, I think about 3 weeks since I posted anything on here. I think the holidays, I just didn't really feel like doing anything and I didn't. But there's been a lot that's happened over the past few weeks. I would say, that's what this video is going to be about. My personal experiences and manifesting a lot of different things. So yeah, I'll get more into that. But I do want to say a disclaimer. So as I'm recording this right now, I don't really know what I'll title it. Maybe just like about transforming your life, because that is what happened to me. So I would say, yeah, disclaimer that, your results can be different from another person's, depending on how much work you want to put in and how much energy you want to pursue in these aspects. And these can be things that you do every day. So they're not super, they're not hard. And, it's just kind of like thinking and putting your best foot forward. So, depending on how much energy you want to put in, your results can be different. I would say, like, it took me, even though this is about 4 weeks of my life, I think I started on December 8th, and, just until like these past few days, it's the 31st today. So, about 4 weeks or so, give or take, I'd say, maybe a little bit less, honestly. Um, if I'm doing the math correctly, I think that's only 20, 23 days. So less than 4 weeks it could take you. But yeah, it could take you shorter. And at the beginning of the 4 weeks, I basically got into a routine of incorporating these into my daily. So yeah, I'm someone who doesn't really do well with the routines. My day to day can kind of change every single day, depending on what's needed from me and what, how I feel, what I have to do. So those things can change. But I've really stuck to a routine. Again, it took me a couple weeks just to get into that routine. And then within like a week and a half, I was manifesting things like crazy. So yeah, it was a little bit of foundation, the first little bit. And then, when I was consistent with it and when I was really putting in the work, that's when I started to see the results. So at least that's how it worked for me. Everybody's different. I've seen people manifest things within like a few seconds, within like an hour. So, you know, we're all on different timelines and we're all doing different things, manifesting different things. So, but these are the tips, I think like about 3 tips that I have to really get into your mindset every single day that can bring your manifestations in quicker. So, we could just be on a timeline where we're just letting things happen and, just going with our day. But these are things that can really boost your manifestations. So, I'm going to get right into it. And I'm going to try and keep these really succinct and easy to follow. And I'll put timestamps so you know which which thing I'm talking about in when. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is living in a state of gratitude. And this has really helped me, being thankful for the things that I have. It has made it easier to bring in more things that I want, because I'm already so grateful for what I have. And I do gratitude affirmations every single morning. And I think I'm at like day 38 and I use feel something in my throat. I use the I Am app, and they have different sections. I've talked about this in another video before. They have different sections where you can talk about, self-confidence. You want to do self-confidence affirmations. You could do weight loss affirmations. You could do body positivity affirmations, confidence, growth, personal growth, whatever you want to do. They could also be business related. Um, and the one I do is just for gratitude. And I usually, I'll switch them up every few weeks or so. And I think for the past maybe week and a half, 2 weeks almost, I've been doing gratitude ones. And I've really seen a difference. And I always try to say, like thank you whenever, even if it's something little that someone's given to me, someone's like held a door open for me. Like I always use my manners and I'm grateful in that way every day. But I think adding these on top of it, adding the affirmations on top of that, throughout every day, really, I just saw like amazing improvements. And again, like I'll talk about at the end, after I talk about these 3 um, rules, basically, I'll tell you about my personal experience. And, everything I give for advice is based in personal experience because something has worked for me. And again, not everything will work for everybody, and everybody's got their different ways of manifesting. And, you could be more of an assumption person, you could be more of an action person. So, everybody's different. These are just the things that I found work for me. And, I got the stuff to back it up. So, yeah, so I guess going back to living in a state of gratitude. So even if, in your 3D physical reality, you aren't seeing the manifestations you want, feeling grateful that down the line, or even, yeah, I would say like at some point in your life, you're going to have that. So, that's already given to you, if that makes sense. So even if you're going to have it in 10 years, that's still yours. It's just, 10 years away in our reality, I would suppose. Is the best way to explain that. So, even if you're not seeing it right now, being grateful that you have that ambition and that desire, and that will be yours eventually, will bring it in even faster. So I found that really, really helpful. Like I said, living in a state of gratitude, being grateful for what you have, and being able to bring that in even faster. Your manifestations, I mean. So being grateful for, it could even be something like having a roof over your head, having a bed to sleep in, being able to decorate your room, being able to buy things when you want. Like that is, it can be such an amazing thing that maybe sometimes we overlook. And even being able, like if you're someone who is able to choose the food that you eat and to choose your meals, like that is pretty amazing. So even being grateful for those things that we do throughout our day and kind of overlook, that is super important. I think that's a really big part of it too. And the second part, I guess like rule, I guess law, I don't even know. What do you want, what I should call them? But the second part of bringing your manifestations in pretty quickly would be to envision how your body would feel if your dreams came true. So, like for instance, if you're manifesting a new home, you could envision how your body would feel, and how like your new couch would feel against your skin, how you would feel sitting on that couch. Like what kind of fabric the couch is, if it's a denim couch, a velvet couch, chenille, whatever the material is, and getting really specific on those things to where you can really picture yourself in that space and to put yourself in that place where, you already have it and you're sitting in your new living room. If, like I said, if you're manifesting a new house or you're sitting in your kitchen, what would your cutting boards look like? What kind would you have? Chef's knives? Like, all of those things are really important. And, the more specific you can be, the better, because that is just going to show how dedicated you are to your desires and your manifestations. And another example, like if you're trying to manifest a new fulfilling job for yourself, what would your morning routine be? What time would you wake up? Would you pack for work the night before? So like what would that be? And start doing those things, start acting that way, and start feeling that gratitude for having that job. And again, this goes back to living in a state of gratitude, because if you are envisioning yourself with your manifestations in that reality that you want to have, and you can feel yourself in that reality, you are going to feel grateful for being there. So you want to put yourself in that position of already having your manifestations and feeling grateful for them. And I've actually heard of people who were looking at a dream house of theirs. They didn't have the house yet, but they started buying the furniture for the house again before they even had it. And I'm pretty sure they ended up getting that house that they wanted. So, envisioning yourself already having what you want and making the purchases, making those decisions, and being in that mindset that you already have it is going to bring it in even quicker. And another aspect of, like I was just saying, living in a state of gratitude and envisioning what you want, pretending like you already have them in your reality, is to believe that everything is always working for your highest good. Everything is always working out for you, even if you don't see it at that time. Maybe say you're in traffic and you're really frustrated, that traffic is working out for you in a way that you don't realize. You could be missing an accident that's up ahead. So everything is always working out for us, again, in ways that we don't understand in the moment. So I think that's super important. Again, it goes into living in a state of gratitude, being grateful for the path that you're on and the way that things are working out for you, because, there could be roadblocks, there could be things that don't make sense to us, but, in hindsight, they will make sense to us in the future. So, like they say, hindsight is 2020. So it's really going to make sense to you when you are further ahead, what you were doing back there. So yeah, so just keep going and understand that, tell yourself every day that everything is always working out for you. You're never in any lack. You're never, missing out on anything. Everything is happening in the right timing for you. And even if you have a friend, like you and a friend want the same thing, you're both going after the same goal, and they might get theirs before you, that doesn't mean that you won't be getting yours. And you could be getting yours in a way that makes sense to you, that, you know, maybe you wanted something more similar to what your friend wanted, but you're going to get it in a way that's better, quote unquote, but that works out better for you. Yeah, so just be open to how your manifestations are going to arrive, and don't stick so rigidly to the how and the when. And don't worry so much about, you know, things working out exactly how you want them to. Again, like I was talking about traffic, everything happens for a reason. And you might get there a little bit later to where you were going, but it doesn't mean that, it's all going to happen the way it's supposed to. I think I've gotten to places like I thought I was going to be late to somewhere, and then like I was going with like a friend and they were like, "No, like I'm late too." So it worked out for both of us. And then like we didn't have to like wait for each other. We got there at the exact same time because we were both late. So, everything works out the way it's supposed to. I'm a firm believer in that. And once we learn to let go of that stress and that worry that things have to be working a certain way that we want them to, I think that's when you can really see things work out for your best benefit. And now on to my experience. So the past couple weeks, like I said, I was seeing more results like after I had laid that foundation the 2 weeks prior. So I was really seeing manifestations come in, I would say from like maybe like the middle of December, like the middle of this month, just before Christmas too. So I had, I was like, I guess I'll say what I was manifesting. So I was really manifesting sales in my jewelry business. And, I wanted to make a certain amount or better. That's another thing with manifesting. You always say you want something to work out, I want $10,000 or better, in something. And, you leave that wiggle room for things to be better than you expect and better than you want, because again, we're not fully in control of everything, and there are things happening in the background that we don't really understand, but again, are happening for our best interest. So yeah, I said I wanted to make X amount or better. Um, in the markets I was doing for the holidays, the other sales I was doing with like stores and stuff like that. So yeah, it ended up being about $4,300. Um, and I was like open to things happening unexpectedly, just knowing that everything was happening, um, for me, for my best interest. And I got a refund for, the teeth aligning I did. So I aligned my teeth from March to October of this year. And I had paid, it was like $2,500 after insurance. But I guess like the insurance must have kicked in or something, because I got a $1,300 check from my dentist, just last week, or like a week and a half ago. But yeah, that was super unexpected. It was incredible. So, I'm always open to things happening unexpectedly, and just for my best interest, really. Saying that things are always happening for me, not to me, reframing that state of mind, knowing that, whatever is happening in my life is for my best. So yeah, that was amazing. Got that refund. And then another one that I was sort of expecting from health insurance. And yeah, though that was like almost $1,700 in refunds that I got. Um, Again, wasn't expecting most of it. And then there was also this sale I did for the holidays. It was 3 weekends, at a store. I sent them over my work and they displayed it for those 3 weekends. It was just 9 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it was 9 days. And, I really wasn't expecting a lot. I was just so grateful that they had reached out to me again, because this was my third year. with them. And well, actually my second, but the third one they had reached out last year. I didn't do it because I was just so busy with my other job. And what was I talking about? Because I was just so busy with my other job. And I sent them my pieces in November. I think like at the beginning of November. Then they had their sale November through the beginning of December. And I was just like, I just let it go. I was just excited that they even asked me. I was excited that they were open to having my pieces. And, I got everything ready, sent it, um, was expecting, or was just like, I knew that like that was something I had to think about, whether they were just sending my pieces back. Like I knew that was something I had to think about. And to find space in my room for those pieces that they were sending back, the things that didn't sell. So I was like expecting something. I wasn't really expecting so much in sales, because also the thing with sales with them, I'll say, is that they take 50% for their program and I take 50%. So I ended up making almost $1,700. I got an $842 check from them. And it was just like, it was, I really didn't have any expectations for it. I had hoped, like I always hope to sell my jewelry, and I hope that people find the pieces and they want to take them home. So yeah, it was almost $1,700 because they also took some for the shipping label. And yeah, it was just like, it was amazing. And that was also even after I had raised my prices a little bit, because like I invested in like new card stock, for my jewelry, and like just new things and techniques. I polished everything and it took a long time, and I sort of like remade some things. So it was even after that. And that's like another thing that I'll probably talk about in another video, is just knowing your worth, because I knew that I was like, for what I did and for the amount of work that I was putting into my work, last year when I made these prices. Um, and these were like for pieces that I hadn't sold the year before. These were just like, it's called a second sale. So it was just like leftover pieces that maybe didn't sell that successfully, or, didn't sell at all, kind of had like some bumps in them, whatever, weren't perfect. But yeah, I, I always, like, I had my prices last year and I always felt that I wasn't, pricing them properly, but I always wanted, I wanted people to be able to buy them. And I got so stuck on that I didn't really pay myself what I deserved. And, that made sense for the amount of time that I was putting into my pieces. So I raised my prices this time, and yeah, I sold almost $1,700 of my inventory in just those 9 days, at their store. And again, they had like other artists and other designers there. So I was just really, really grateful that people wanted to buy my pieces. And again, I was sitting in a state of gratitude when I got that check, and I expressed, my gratitude in an email to their team. And I also kind of just, I let it go and I let it happen. Um, and I knew that what was for me wasn't going to pass me by. So those were things that I was just like, I wasn't so focused on how it was going to happen, or exactly how much I was going to make. Like I just let it happen. And I guess that leads me into things that you quote unquote shouldn't do when you're manifesting. I mean, you can do whatever you want, everything works better for others, but I would say one thing that can maybe slow them down a little bit is trying to rush them or get impatient that they aren't happening on your timeline. So, and that is just why I think it's so helpful to go through your day, like after you set your manifestations, and you set those intentions, and you're you know doing the actions every single day to align with those manifestations, and in that state of living that you want to be in when you have those manifestations, and just calmly believing that your manifestations will show up in your reality the way they're supposed to, in your best interest. And so I guess an example would be like, if you're going to a restaurant, you're going out to eat with your friends or your family, and the waiter comes over and you place your order. Say you want chicken parm with a Shirley Temple. Yeah, I hear you, because I do the same. Um, and you let it happen. You let the chef make it, and you let them make the drinks. You're just continuing your conversations with people at your table, and you're letting it all happen. You're not going to the kitchen and asking them how long it's going to take. You're not checking the temperature for everything. You're just letting it happen the way it's supposed to. And you're trusting that they are making the food the right way, and that they're doing what they do because they have that job for a reason, and you're just trusting that everything is going to come out. um, so that is basically how manifesting works. You just go about your time, you go about your day as normal, after you've put in your order, after you've said what you want, and you just know that they're going to come in the perfect timing for you. And it's just that easy. So again, I wouldn't say those are things to not do, as in meaning, rushing things and being impatient. But I would just say, really, you just got to trust that what is happening for you is in your best interest, and that, you've set those intentions, you've sent those manifestations out there, and you just, yeah, you let them come in how they're supposed to. And these are just a few things that I have found that help even speed up my manifestations even quicker. Would be doing affirmations, whether that is listening to videos. There's a bunch on YouTube you can listen to, and you can find like the right person for you. And even doing, like I said, the I Am app for affirmations. I do both of those every morning. I listen to, it's like an 11-minute video, and then I'll do my affirmations for a few minutes. So that's like 15 minutes of my day, just setting those intentions. And again, I do them in the morning. This is like the routine that I have created. So, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, it was about 2 weeks that I took just to create this routine and to be in like this mindset. So, yeah, I do affirmations in the morning, a video, and then scrolling through the app, and then I will read them a couple times just so I can like sit with them and feel them. Um, and then also listening to music that relates to your manifestation. So if you're manifesting like a significant other, you can listen to love manifestations. If you're manifesting money, you can listen to like wealth music, excuse me. I hope I didn't say affirmations. I don't remember. But I hope you get the idea that you want to listen to music that relates to your manifestation. And one for wealth, like Ariana Grande, I know has a couple. She has Just Like Magic, which is amazing at manifesting if you like listen to it. And you like read the lyrics and stuff like that. It's like, I love that song. And then also Successful is another one. And I think if I really went through her discography, I could probably find more. But those are just like the two off the top of my head for manifesting money and just manifesting in general. And I also would definitely suggest journaling your manifestations, writing about them in the present tense, like you already have them and like they're already in your reality, because, in some timeline they are in your reality. And, even if it is right now, it's 10 years from now, like say in this world we're in, it's 10 years from now. But that's still going to happen. That's still guaranteed that it's going to happen. So just talk about them in the present tense as if you already have them in your 3D reality, and meditating to clear your head, and to help ground yourself. So if you're at work and you're just overwhelmed and like overstimulated and you have like a lot of emails or whatever, let's say like take a minute or two to, do some breath work, and just to clear your head and to get back into the zone. And also, if you feel yourself, there's something living in my throat right now. Okay, I think it's gone. And also, if you kind of get into like a negative mindset, or you feel yourself like straying away from that upbeat, like calm, trusting attitude and that positivity, meditating can help, or, listening to music too, or even writing down your feelings. If it's like kind of getting out of control and you're like, okay, like I just need to write down a page of this, what I'm feeling, to get it out of my head, to get it, to stop your body from being in that zone, like that anger, get that out of your body. That's another, you know that's how journaling can help too, and meditating too. And I think I have another one written down here. Yeah, so creating a mood board, I would say that is my last one to help bring in your manifestations. So mood boards, and then I would also suggest window shopping. So for example, we'll go back to like buying a new house. You could create like a mood board of things that you found online, of furnishings that you want, you know, the couch you want, the kitchen table that you want, the coffee table, the how you're going to decorate. Like if you're somebody who loves books, like I love books, and you know, I envision having my place with um like bookcases. I almost forgot what they were called, but like bookcases on bookcases of books and stuff like that. And I also love history books, so like I would go through and um, figure out which topics I really care about and what I want to learn more about. So being really specific about what you want is going to help bring that thing into your reality like even quicker. So yeah, just be as specific as you can. Again, like you can also journal these. You know, all of these I feel like kind of relate to each other. You can do whatever you want. Um, just as long as you're being positive and you are being consistent. I would definitely say those two are key. Living in a state of gratitude, knowing things are working out for you, and envisioning yourself in that reality, your preferred reality of your dreams. So, all of those are super, super helpful. Those are just like the keys to manifesting, I would say. And like you can do as many of those, you know, those extras that I talked about. So listening to music, if you're really big on music, or you're like big on dancing, you can definitely do that. If you're big on affirmations, you can also do yoga and like to meditate that way. So, you know, everybody's different. It is just finding what works for you and being consistent in a routine with it. That is what I found. So, yeah, I do maybe like 5 things in the morning, um, every morning. And, you know, I'm also very graceful with myself and understanding if I don't wake up at the exact same time every day. And I think that's also going into routine, but I think I want to talk about that in another video. But just briefly, I'll talk about my routine. And I try to wake up by, you know, about 7:30 every morning, between 6:30 and 7:30, usually about 7, depending on how, you know, I slept the night before. Last night I was up because the dogs wanted to pee like every couple hours. So I slept like half an hour later than I wanted to, but you know, I just gave myself grace and I figured out the rest of my schedule and how things would sort of adjust after that. And you know, again, thinking and reminding myself that everything is happening the way it's supposed to. So, you know, every day it might not be exactly how we want, but it's going to happen in the best way for us. Um, but I think that was it. Yeah. So keeping a positive attitude, being in a state of gratitude. Ooh, those rhymed. Keeping a positive attitude, living in a state of gratitude, envisioning your manifestations in your reality, feeling that in your body, um, knowing that everything is working out for you, and being consistent. That was the last thing. Yeah, definitely being consistent with all of those things, every single day. And I think as soon as you can create a routine for yourself, um, that is when you can really see them like multiply, come in super, super quick. I think everything that I had manifested for like my sales, they all came in within like 5 days. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. So, yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. Just be graceful, just be graceful with yourself, in manifesting. Like I said, people, we're all on different timelines. What works for somebody can work different for you in all situations in life. So just be graceful with yourself, be understanding, and be patient. Um, and just know, be in a constant state of knowing that things are working out for you in the right timing. So, yeah, I think that was it for today. I recorded this yesterday. I'm re-recording it now because I didn't get the audio right. So, but I think this is more concise than what I did yesterday. So, you know, everything happens for a reason. And I'm going to end it on that. So, bye for now, guys. I'll see you next time.